Let's see. I got a clip.
By the way, he's on the cover of Forbes, and it's in the Forbes spread that it was revealed the $200 million 5-year deal.
Let's go, Charlamagne.
Fire.
For him and his Black Effect network.
Here we go. I got you.
I don't have to fill anybody's shoes. I don't have to wear anybody's crown. I'm building my own.
Yeah, love it, man. Well, listen, right fast, hit me on the inside of Charlemagne Inc., right? You have your iHeart deal, your podcast network. From what I'm seeing, you're a 51% owner in that podcast network, joint venture with iHeart. What's going on with the podcast network, man? How you liking that? What's inside that business? How are you able to run it, and what are you learning?
I love it. 5 years ago, well, speaking of Combat Jack, I was
Rest in peace, Combat Jack.
An equity owner in Loudspeaker Network. So it was me, Combat Jack, and Chris Monroe. And I credit Chris a lot because Chris told me 13 years ago, 2 things you're gonna have to do is write a book and start a podcast. I always knew I was gonna write a book just because I love reading, I love writing. That was a no-brainer. For podcasting, I was a little arrogant on it. I was like, why I gotta do a podcast? I do morning radio. And he was like, I'm telling you, this is where the culture is going. This is where media is. I don't have to fill anybody's shoes.
Oh, oops, I fucked up.
And this is where media is going. And I started to think about it. I'm like, I have been fired from radio 4 times. It would be cool to have my own platform. And, just in case this Breakfast Club thing don't work out, at least I still have a voice. And so that's when me and Andrew Schultz started Brilliant Idiots, 13 years ago. And then, helping Loudspeaker go out there and get, other talent and bring them on the network. Chris gave me equity in Loudspeaker, so I always saw how the podcast business was growing, not just being in front of the microphone, but behind, behind the scenes as well. And so when I started to look at what Bill Simmons was doing with the Ringer, and I was looking at the Barstools and the Gimlets and Wonderies and all of these different platforms, I was like, yo, we don't have a space like that for us.
Right. Like a BT for podcasts.
And that's exactly what my mentality was. I want to create the BET, for podcasting. Because the other thing I was seeing was you had so many podcasts, and this is where media is going, but they were kind of more focused on video than they were audio. Mm-hmm. And I don't think that they were necessarily connecting the dots the way that they could as far as the advertising dollars are concerned. And so when I was looking at, doing my new deal with iHeart, I was like, I don't want to just be talent anymore. I want to create this podcast network.
Is this you growing into, I remember 2018, I believe you wanted to podcast with Torre, and you were mentioning how Steve Harvey, Ryan Seacrest were your inspirations. You wanted to get into the executive producer lane, right? That was years ago. You're now in that, right?
Fully.
Is this where you wanted to be? Is where you are?
Fully immersed in it. Been there for the last 5 years. Whether it's executive producing, movies, like my own television shows on Comedy Central, executive producing, audio scripted content with the company that me and Kevin Hart got with SPH Productions, executive producing these, podcasts that we got on Black Effect. The name of the game is, but they were kind of more. The name of the game is IP. So I'm fully immersed in my executive producer bag. But it all starts with the Black Effect Podcast Network. Being successful at that, showed people oh, okay, he does know what he's doing, in the business space. But I can't take, all of the credit at all. My good sister Dolly Bishop, who is the president of the Black Effect Podcast Network, man. Once again, divine, right? Mm-hmm. When I had the vision for this, God told me immediately, all right, go get Dolly. You know what I'm saying? Go get Dolly. Dolly's great with talent. Dolly's great at business. Dolly has been, a manager, an assistant, and a producer.
You get the drift. Yeah. Mm-hmm. You get the drift.
Congrats again.
Big news.
Amazing.
Congratulations.
Congratulations. Worth every cent. Worth every cent. Worth every penny of it. This is great news for many reasons.
Everybody. Yeah, for everybody. Yeah.
For many reasons. Many reasons. Where do you begin?
It's great for Charlemagne. That's one place to start. It's great for everybody under the Black Effect
It's great
network.
for the field.
It's great for the field of podcasting in general.
Yeah.
It's amazing.
Another self-made, I don't know how self-made he is, but another black executive to add to the list that is moving behind the scenes and not necessarily in the talent realm that we could just chalk up. And he's still young.
Yeah.
And we watched it. Like, we've been out for a long
That
time.
part,
You know what I
too.
mean? Just to come behind such a big personality, such a legend, and to still find your own way. And I feel like I like about Charlamagne is that it was a time like I really couldn't stand him. Like the way he did things, the way he spoke to people. And I feel like he grew and he shared how he grew with people. And I think that was important for a black man to see a black man go to therapy and actually kind of change. You know what I mean? Like he comes
the-
off
do the
happier.
work.
He doesn't seem, you know what I mean? You know, like Charlamagne is not the same. Charlamagne make Lil Mama cry. It's not the same guy, and I enjoy that. I think that it's more important to see somebody's honestly getting through life versus these little perfect things people put out. Because in reality, you do have to change. In reality, you do asshole shit. It's just in reality, you're not on the camera and people can't rewatch it. So I'm here for Charlamagne growth. I told him that when I first met him. Like I respect how he did shit though. Congratulations, Charlamagne.
And we always hear these stories like, you know, these companies giving them these type of deals. It's never one of us to land one of them deals. So that's was the impressive part to me. Like I love seeing that. That's inspirational to everybody else coming up. Like, yo,
Facts.
all right, we can get that.
Yes.
Like
That's-
you always see them getting them. But
That should be the start, right? How do you see it? And this is for the creator community. How do you see it and not be inspired?
yep.
Shit like that.
How do you
yes.
see it and it not be a sign that
Keep going.
there are multiple ways for this to work? You don't have to subscribe to another man's blueprint. You can do things a plethora of ways and end up with this life-changing, lineage-changing money. Like I said, as a black man, like Mona said, you got to see it.
Yeah.
You got to see it in front of your face from the start. 3, if you're a content creator, awesome for Charlamagne. Awesome for Charlamagne, The Breakfast Club, and all of the pods that made it over there to Netflix, right? Mm-hmm. You got anything, Mark?
Man, I'm just so proud of him. I reached out to him this morning and told him that from the beginning. I heard the haters last week, you know, when he was kind of being playful or coy is probably a better word about renewing his iHeart deal, and all of a sudden all the experts and the
Who
predictors.
the hater? Tasha K?
There's so many people who think they're experts on this, and yeah, they're going to renew. They're not renewing his deal. Y'all don't know what the fuck you're talking about. They don't understand how valuable he is to that entity and how much control he has over that space. And so to see the deal, I didn't know what numbers to expect, and I do have some questions for you about sort of how deals are sort of organized. But like to see that size of a deal and what he's able to do, that a big part of it is extending and growing the Black Effect podcast network, and like he said, he wants it to be the BET of podcast, which I think actually could be even more than that.
It could be bigger.
You know, I think it's amazing, man. I'm proud of him, and I'm excited for him, and it's just great news all around. I got nothing else to say.
I like the part about not really it going the way that he maybe thought it was going to go. Like, as being an on-air personality, I didn't necessarily want to do podcasts. I didn't want to do books, blah, 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 but it worked for him.
Yeah.
So in the keep going thing, also, you're going to run into different shit. You got to try different shit. And if you stay the course, it may work out for you.
Especially if you're open to getting over the arrogance. Because what he said is like, I'm on radio. I'm and on a huge platform. Why would I need a podcast?
biggest.
As a TV person, had the same idea.
I love that.
You know, like, I'm on TV. I'll never do this. I'll never do. But you have to.
You don't know what you'll do.
Exactly.
Right.
Yep.
You have no idea.
And you don't know what to work.
Damn, I told y'all
That's
niggas I would never do a podcast.
Me too.
Right.
That was actually the name of my podcast. I was
a
like,
great
I
name.
don't fuck with. I didn't fuck with these.
Right.
But
and knowing the direction the
You
culture's
don't know
going
where your
in.
life gonna push you.
But I think, and we say this oftentimes, like as you start to grow, you kind of get out of your own way, and you can make those pivots, and you could be malleable to doing new shit.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I think that we just get comfortable in the one thing that we know how to do, and we know how to do it well, and we might be the best at it. But there's so many other levels to the shit that when you start climbing up that ladder, you start being able. Oh, it's a room over here. It's a room over here. I can go in those rooms and see what's going on. I
And one
think
thing
it's
doesn't
fine.
have to stop the other.
True.
Yeah.
Because he's still active, doing what he loves doing, what he started doing broadcast media.
Yeah. The thing I also love about Charlemagne and about Joe, is the thing when I watch people, I watch their talent, but I also watch people's work ethic. And I see so many people who are not successful, and I can almost always draw a through line to their work ethic.
Yeah.
How many hours are you willing to work? How much are you willing to do? What are you willing to sacrifice? And I watch people bust their ass, and as somebody who works hard, like I know what that looks like, and I know what it doesn't look like. And I find most people who are not successful, who have talent, you know, at some point, if you keep pushing, you'll get there. But sometimes people they don't always push as hard as they can. So just watching Charlamagne work this hard and to be willing to grind and to play the long game, this shit's impressive.
I also want to shout out just the lack of arrogance and the lack of ego. Like hearing everybody say all that shit about you, and you know what you over here working on.
Right.
Like, you know, a lot of people would, hey, yo, what? Do y'all know I'm doing? Like, just to shut up and just let people talk.
I just said that last week. Sometimes it's cool to just shut up and let the work talk. You don't have to rush out to be seen. You don't have to reply to every comment and hater. Just if you're doing the work will show.
Yeah.
Facts.
I gotta commend so much. This is so loaded for me. For a lot of years, you prayed that the people at this level would start to share what they make.
That's so true.
The companies that may give you the money, and it ain't but so many of them when we're talking about this type of dollar and this type of coin, they may encourage you to keep it quiet. Actually, no may about it. I'm telling you that they'll probably put it in the contract that you can't talk about it. They have no problem giving it to you, but they don't want you to throw up that Thundercat symbol in the air, because now there are tangible metrics and facts and numbers for no matter what level you are. You may not be at the Charlemagne level. You may not be at the Joe level, but whatever level you at, you can now look to the top of the top and say, okay, that's what it's supposed to look like. This is what I want it to look like for me. It could give you the cojones to say something in those private meetings that you might not have said before, because you're having a hard time figuring out where the value is, how's this money being made, where is it coming from, why are you in figure it out mode? This is the equivalent of, and I hope this is a trend. I hope this trend continues. It's the equivalent of Mahomes looking at Burrow, and Burrow looking at Lamar, and Lamar looking at Kirk Cousins' name is in here somewhere too. It's whoever you are,
Flacco.
Like, if everybody just continues to do what they're supposed to be doing, then the next man up should break it, and the next man up should break it, and so forth and so on. 1, 2. I'm always with the disruptor winning. And Netflix is disrupting.
Yeah, they are. Big time.
Netflix is this is awesome, man. Netflix is sending signals to other companies that needed a lot of convincing. Lord knows how many hours are spent behind the scenes by really talented people convincing somebody that this is what they should do, or giving them a download about what's valuable out here, how this could 10x, 100x, 1000x something. When you got a Netflix to come and pour all of this money in, it's a smoke signal to
Everybody else
that was too arrogant. Everybody else that felt like my position is so cemented that I don't have to talk to you podcasters, you streamers, you content creators with your cooking shows. I don't have to. Yeah, sorry, Google. See, because Google might not listen to me, and they might not listen to 10 of us, and they might not listen to 1,000 of us, because they might not give a fuck. But when Netflix comes,
they hear them loud and clear,
and does essentially what Spotify did in 2018, which, while we're talking about it, boy, what a great time that was for content creation.